Hey everybody, Shade Under here, and you're probably going to notice a little bit of difference on here. This is episode 49, and my computer decided it didn't want to record any sound. So, as you can see, I'm going over the reactors. I'm doing a voiceover right now because I had no sound when I recorded. So that's what we're going to do. And right here I was trying to explain that it was running, but I kept having to turn it on and off manually. And, oh, good grief, I move all over the place. I generally don't watch my thing, and I'm explaining what happened at the end of last episode. It, like, literally, as soon as I stopped recording, the reactor blew up. And I was turning around to show you that one of the reactors was missing because I took it and put it in new casing. And the only thing that was left was the piping. Everything else got blown up. But I managed to get it fixed, and it's running really well. Right here, I think I'm... What was I doing? Oh yeah, I keep having to jump up here and turn this off because if the coolant runs out, the stuff down below doesn't process it fast enough to keep the coolant flowing. So that's what I'm talking about, is the difference between the coolant at about 50% being turned off, or using a redstone signal to turn off the reactor. So let's see, what am I doing here? Oh, I'm getting ready to, I think. Now I know what Phantom talks about. Good grief, it is really hard to keep track of what I'm doing. Oh, right here I had to move the conduits to the bottom because it wasn't actually transferring through the back. Figured that one out. I have to power the condenser there at the end. Right here I'm showing you that this one's 2000 KU, this one's 1000 KU. I could probably add a third one. This one, the first one's 500 EU a tick, second one's 250, so that's a total of 750 EU a tick, and I'm going to show you right now, right there, coming out of the machines, except it's a little bit lower because I'm powering the condenser off of it. So it gets down to about 740, and we lose a little bit from the distance to the, it's not a capacitor. I can't think of the name of it right now. So, a little annoyed, but now with both reactors running, you could see there that it was about 1.2 K EU a tick with both of these reactors running, and that's only going to go up more when I add the other two reactors to the system, which I'm going to be doing off camera. And what am I talking about on here? Good grief, I'm all over the place. Yeah, this is a little setup that I was trying. It wasn't working because I had turned that off. Come on, hit the switch, make it come back and forth, and it'll reset it. Come on, hit the switch. There you go. And so basically the idea is I have one switch that turns them all on, and then when the capacitor gets full, that it kicks off, and I'm gonna, not the capacitor, but the MFSU. When the MFSU gets full, the power will turn off and do that, and I'm going to demonstrate that right here. That's what I'm explaining, what my idea is on that, so that all the reactors can be shut off when I don't need the power, which I may or may not need. So, we'll see if that actually happens or not. What? Come on, get to the meat of it. Come on. It's a lot easier to explain this stuff if I'm not actually playing the game at the time. There we go. Then I show that, it can be just when the MFSU gets full, it stops sending a redstone signal, which would turn off the piston and disconnect all the reactors. Which makes sense, except I don't know about the steam ones. But this is where I'm making 2 buckets for the liquid, liquid monitor, because the liquid monitor can output a redstone signal at a certain amount. It took me a little bit to kind of understand in my test world on how that thing works. And the reason I'm going with this is because I already tested it and I figured out how to make it work. I might go to a little bit more complicated system later, but we'll see. So I'm going to go around here, break the torch, throw up my redstone conduit, and I probably should have dropped it down and then over, but it is what it is. And then right here I get out my wrench to turn that guy around so that his back is facing out, like so. Then I set up the internals. You have to actually select the tank that you want to read that's near it, and then you want it to send a signal when it's more than a certain amount. Now on this one I'm doing 50%, so that I can make sure that the tank stays at least half full all the time. And since it's more than half full, it's going to stay on for a little while and heat up the stuff down below. Heat up the fluid exchangers, the steam boilers and stuff. And there it goes. It kicks back on. And then now it's pretty much self-sustaining. There is a possibility that this whole system could collapse, but it would take a really long time. And I'll get to that in just a second, after I demonstrate that this is actually turning off. I pause it here in a second, and then it comes back when it's almost at 50%, and on the left-hand side you'll see the redstone conduit turn off. Right there. And you can read the thing on the left-hand side where it's almost down to halfway. It's at 34, 33, 32, and it cuts off. So it'll be in a constant state of on, off, but this reactor will last a really long time on the fuel rods that are in it. The other one, it can run constantly and just continuously pump out power. You see it kicks on and it's at 26, and then it drops way down, and then it kicks on again, comes back up. So this is more efficient in the way of the quad uranium fuel cells. The other one, it burns through them actually relatively quickly because it's on constantly. This one actually gets to shut off every so often and still push out more power more often. So, well, I don't know if it's more often, but it's definitely more power. And the reason I added the little yellow thing to the mouse is so that you guys can track where my mouse is, because I kind of realized I move pretty quick. I try to get a lot of information out in 20 minutes, and that's why I move so quick. And now I'm just describing the superheated steam goes into the first turbine, which turns and makes power, and then the superheated steam becomes steam and goes in the second one, and then that turns and makes power. And I've noticed this system actually has a little bit extra steam, but I don't think I want to try putting a third one on there. But what I'm describing here is that the distilled water, I don't think it's going to last forever. I need to figure out how to get more distilled water in there and keep it in there. So I think I can actually set up a redstone kind of deal where I create the distilled water, and then when this reaches halfway, or below half, it emits a redstone signal, which then allows more distilled water from my distillery into it until it reaches halfway, and then it cuts off. So that way I will always make sure that I have a half full tank, and actually, honestly, I could probably do it at about 10%, but I'm going to be checking that and keeping an eye on it, because, see, it's already down below halfway. Yeah, it's slowly decreasing, but it's kind of annoying. What I'll probably end up doing is moving my solar distilleries over to this side, and then have a conduit go from them down there, and then whenever it reaches below, let's say it's 25%, then it'll go. And I don't know what I was doing here. I was showing you... I was explaining what I was going to do with this. The solar panels are going to be moved right here in the skinny spot of the tower, and upgraded at some point. Don't know when, but I mean, it's not like I really need the power, but it'd be something cool to do. I'm never going to need any more solar panels than I have there. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I was explaining that I had made a bunch more coolant because the other one exploded. And this is how I was setting up the fuel cells. I was processing a lot of material to get the fuel cells to work. After I put this stuff away, I believe I go and actually show you all the cells that I did after I cleaned up my inventory, apparently. Oh, yeah, this is funny. I dumped the superheated steam on the ground, which I probably shouldn't have done, because it knocks out a bunch of the lights. Also explaining that I have the vials of the blue slime and the wither so that I can make 2 more mob farms, which you guys have seen me make mob farms before. I will probably set that up off camera as well, because why repeat myself? One thing that you can kind of see what I'm doing on here, so I'm just going to talk for a minute. One thing that I intend on doing is waiting to continue recording. This is episode 49. There's some special stuff that I plan on happening for 50. That's going to be kind of a surprise. So I'm going to stop recording until this episode comes out, which is going to be a couple weeks. When you see it, a couple weeks will have passed since I wasn't recording, so that I can get some feedback. And I probably will wait a week after this is out so that I can get some feedback and figure out what you guys want to do, because there's a lot of options for us to go into. I mean, do you want me to... I go over this in this episode near the end, but it's just kind of a pain with no sound, because my computer hates me. This is really annoying, sitting here watching me place lights. I really should have... But, you live, you learn. I should have checked all my settings, made sure that it was working, and everything was going to work before I hit record, and I didn't. And now I'm paying for it by getting irritated at myself. So, whatever. And Phantom's gonna have a coronary when he realizes that all of his lights have been moved. Let's see here. No, I don't break that. I broke it after I stopped recording. There you go. Come on. Get to what we're needing to talk about here. So, there's a lot of options that I can do. I'll be showing you here in a second, Why am I spending so much time with my bag open? What am I looking for? I can't remember. Oh, I wanted to put that conduit probe in there, so yeah, there you go. Come on, put those away. We're pretty much done with dealing with EU for the moment. We have plenty of power. Only thing I have left to do is move the distillery stuff and set it up on a redstone signal on the conduit so that, you know, when it receives a redstone signal, then it will extract from a tank of distilled water. Oh, yeah, this was great. I told it to make a bunch of the interfaces. And I was trying to look to watch it make them, but it was busy up here because I wanted to start another build. But here in a minute, I realized that I didn't have time to start the build, and went on with explaining a couple of other things. So Deep Dark's in here, and I'll be showing that in a second. I moved my builder into a crate that you'll see here in a minute. So that's an option for doing a build. Am I going to get to it? Come on. Come on, open. Thank you. Yeah, this is where I show you that I pretty much processed all of my uranium. And I'm going to go over here and... No, the cells aren't in there. Yeah, I made the coolant cells to make more overclockers for a build that I want to do. I get it. Yeah, that hole is not there anymore. As soon as I ended this, I filled it in. Checking this, making sure that it's still functioning properly, which it is. And this I had turned off, so I turned it back on. And I show you all the cells that I made. I have plenty of uranium fuel cells, which I'll be putting in the system and adding in the exporters and all that stuff, and you guys don't need to see all that. I take a nap because night. I swear I'm never going to do a voiceover again. This is annoying, especially watching myself play the game. Come on, get over yourself. You're at 17 minutes. I think this is where I actually realize I don't have time to do any other build because of all the other little stuff that was going on. I have no idea why I jumped out there. I cannot remember what I was attempting to say. Right here. So we've got a few build options. Bottom right, which I'll probably highlight here in a second. Deep Dark with the builder. Then right above it, I've got some extra droppers. I can't remember why I made them. But you'll also see that same line with the Restonia crystal. That's a whole dropper system that I explain that I could do. So this is where you guys make the choice. Do you want to see me do a Deep Dark mining build, a dropper build for the Restonia crystals, a build for the dropper of making pure Certus quartz? In case you hadn't noticed, I'm kind of going from the bottom to the top, but ignoring the bottom left for the moment. Yeah, see, I highlight really quick over the stuff for the Deep Dark stuff right there. And then up at the top, there's the entire automated system for... Yeah, I canceled that because I realized I didn't need them. Up at the top, you'll see the patterns in there. That's for like gold plates, iron plates, tin plates, copper plates. I don't know if I've actually got all of those on there, but basically doing that entire build of automating all the IC2 stuff. All of it that I've done so far. And from ore to finished product, that's what I'm looking at doing with all those machines up there. And it'll do it. It's just going to take some time. Plus, in that same build, I would automate the processing and production of uranium ore to uranium fuel cells. I think I start highlighting the other stuff right here because right there, that's for the pure Certus. The next one down is for the Restonia crystals and all those crystals that go with it. Bottom left-hand corner, I'm going to be highlighting it here shortly. It's the one thing that I made when we hit age 9, that triggered age 9. And that is one of the 3 machines that I need to triple ores. And here in a minute you'll see me highlight it and jump through the ground and show you that the other system will be relevant. Yeah, see, this is where I start explaining that I could go over this whole system and get it automated. Or do you guys even want to see me automate anything else? If it's a new build, should I do it? And if it's something that's similar to another build, should I just do it and show you what I did and move on to the next thing? So that's kind of where I'm sitting at. Yeah, it tripped me out because I accidentally put my wand in that thing and then it wouldn't give it back to me, and I have no way to get up there aside from building a staircase outside. Because this is completely separate. There's no way up here. But I finally got it back, and I was explaining that's where the drop-off's going to be. Because I already have an interface sitting there, so I just haven't done anything with it. See, Electric Crucible triggers age 9. I've got 2 other machines that I need to make for that, which I'm totally cool with. I mean, I've got options to do, and here I'm jumping down and showing you that that's going to be obsolete. What I'll probably do is take those sag mills and set them up to start processing diamonds, and all that stuff. I'm also showing you stuff that I need to work on. Let's see here. I think I'm pretty much starting to, what am I trying to say here? Wind down, I guess you could say, because I knew I didn't have enough time for another build. So, again, it's up to you guys. After this video's out, I will not be recording for a week. Well, I'll probably be... No, I won't record. I'll let it sit. So it might be 1 to 2 weeks after this episode's out, but that's all we really have time for today. Let me know what you guys think. And we could also continue on to the next age, which really wouldn't be that difficult. We just follow the guide and make sure we follow everything in it. But that is gonna have to do it, guys. So thank y'all for watching. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. See ya.